how are you?
I'm good, आप कैसे हो?
मैं भी ठीक हूँ. So today we will be continuing with nested dictionaries. So
Yeah,
like in last class we ended with copying dictionaries. We saw how to copy dictionaries basically like any other list or collection type. So today we will continue with
yeah,
nested dictionaries. So basically nested dictionary says that there can be a dictionary inside of a dictionary. So when there is a dictionary inside of a dictionary, that is basically known as a nested dictionary. So you can say my family equals to it's a dictionary, and then there's child one, which is also a dictionary consisting of key value pairs, name and year, which have the value ML and 2004. Child 2 has the value Tobias and 2007, and child 3 has the value Linus and 2011. So basically, when you have dictionaries inside of dictionaries, then that's known as nesting of dictionaries.
nested. Yeah,
Yeah. And if you want to add three dictionaries into a new dictionary, so basically you can create three separate dictionaries, and then my family equals to a dictionary, and then you can say child one is equals to child one. So child one's value is this. So basically, this my family will be the same thing as this over here.
yeah, okay, understood.
Okay. So when you have to access an item in a nested dictionary, for example, if you want to access child two's name, so in this dictionary you want to access child two's name. So what you'll do first, you'll say my family child 2. Now child 2 will bring this dictionary for us. Now this dictionary, to get the name, you will say name. So what this will do, this will bring the name of that child. So it will bring Tobias for us.
Okay, understood.
Yeah. So this is how you can
Okay,
access. You can basically change it that way also. So you can say, you can remove the print statement, and you can say that it is equals to Charles, for example, and then if you print this, so it will be changed.
yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
And how do we loop through a nested dictionary? So we will use the dot items method. So what the dot items method gave us, it gave us a list of tuples. So it gave us tuples
Yeah,
of consisting the key value pairs. So basically in the first tuple there will be child 1. So there will be child 1, comma, and this dictionary, like this. And in the second one, child 2 and the second dictionary, and the third one, in the third tuple, the third child 3 and the third dictionary. So this is the
yeah, okay.
list that we will get through myfamily.items. Next we are bringing, in X we are bringing the key, that is child 1, child 2, child 3, and in object we are bringing the dictionary, each dictionary. So now in obj we have each dictionary. In each iteration we are printing X, then we are looping on our dictionary for Y in object. So first what it will do, it will in Y it will bring name, then year, then this name, and then year, then name, then year. Okay, so it will bring the keys of each child, and we are printing the key and the respective value. So object Y.
Yeah, okay.
So we are getting the values. So
Yes, understood.
we have done nested dictionaries. Now these are some methods over here. We saw the values, we saw update, pop item, pop keys, items, get, from. We have not seen from keys, but we have seen all the other methods, and we have not seen set default. So when we say set default, so what this method is doing, for example, we have a car, and its brand is Ford, model is Mustang, and year is 1960. So when we say car set default model Bronco, So what this does is that it basically, when we print X, it will bring us Mustang. So let's just read the definition. It returns the value of the item with the specified key. So it will return the value of the item, uh, basically or a value with the specified key, so Mustang. And if we print the car after running this method, if we print the car, then you'll see that nothing has changed. So it is basically saying that model, bring the value model, but if no model existed, then set its value to Bronco. So,
Okay, understood.
so if there was no model, then it sets its value to Bronco and returns Bronco. But if it finds model, then Bronco value is ignored and it returns the value of the model that was already there, that is
The
Mustang.
original value.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And then this Bronco value is ignored, it is used nowhere.
So if in case, like in this example only, uh, there was no, uh, like no
Yeah,
key or value of model.
yeah.
So now it will come as model
Is
as
now,
Bronco.
yeah, it will show Bronco over here. And when we print car also, then also we will get the key value pair in it, brand Ford, year 1964, and model Bronco. So the model will
Okay,
be added.
understood. Yeah.
And then there is the from keys method. So it returns a dictionary from the specified keys. So for example, we say key 1, we have a tuple with key 1, key 2, key 3, and y equals to 0. Then what is happening? It is saying that key 1 equals to 0, key 2 equals 0, and key 3 equals to 0. So this is used to create a base dictionary.
Okay,
So when we say dictionary,
understood.
so basically this method we call on the dictionary constructor that we used to call, we call it on the dictionary constructor. So when we say dict.from keys, we pass it x, the tuple, which will be the keys, and the y, that will be the value of each key. So basically this gives, it returns us a new dictionary.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So next there are the exercises that we can leave for later, and now we are on if else. So we have already worked with if else before also. It's basically used to check a condition. You can check equals, not equals, less than equals, greater than, and greater than equals. And here's an example. For example, we have A33, B 200. If B greater than A, so we are checking if 200 is greater than 33. That is true because 200 is greater than 33. So this will return true. So if is getting true, so when it gets true, it goes inside the block and is executing the block of code. So it is basically printing B is greater than A in this case. Is this clear?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can.
Yeah, it's clear.
Okay. So indentation is very important. So if we like remove the tab that was over here, then what it will see is that there is no block for the if statement to execute. So you have to add something into it. You can also add a comment like do something, and basically there's a comment over there, and then you are coming out. But it basically needs some code also. So if you add a comment, there needs to be some code also. There's a statement called pass basically says like do nothing for now.
Okay.
So if we give the pass keyword over here, like for example we want to do something but we are not sure what to do in this case right now, so we can use the pass keyword for later. We can do something else later.
Yeah, understood.
Yeah. Next there is elif. So if the if statement, it does not go in the if statement and this returns false, then instead of directly adding else, we can have an elif also. So basically it will check for another case. So if that another case is true, then it will print that block of code.
Yeah, understood.
And there can be many elifs also. You can have two elifs also, like
But only one.
yeah, you will have only one else. And basically you can, it may seem like we can have multiple ifs, but that is actually uh, multiple ifs behave in a different way. So right now this will work like elif was working. This over here will work like
Yeah.
elif was working, that it will go in here and print whatever is in here. So we'll just say b is equal to a. So this will work how elif was working. But what elif, if elif block does is that if the first if statement is false, then only it will go and check for this if
It will
statement.
work.
Yeah, then only it will go
Yeah,
over here. But
understood.
if we say if over here, then it will check for this. If this is true, for instance, if this is true, then it will go in here, print what is in here, and then if this is also true, then it will go in here and print what is here. Whereas in the case of elif, what happens is if this is true, then it does not even go to the elif.
Yeah, understood.
Yeah. And then we have the else. So after adding all the elifs, or if we don't have any elifs, just after adding the if, we can add an else statement. So if none of the conditions that we test are true, so it goes in the else and prints whatever there is in else, or executes whatever is there in the else block.
Yeah.
So we can use else without elif also. And then there is shorthand if. For example, if we only have one line to print after an end if statement, so if you have one line to execute in an if statement, so we can basically remove the part of indenting and bringing it to a new line. We can just give it in the same line.
Yeah, understood.
Then there is shorthand if else also. So your if else will be written over here, and the execution parts will be on the left and the right. So what happens is that if a is greater than b, if this condition will be true, then it will go and execute this statement, else it will go and execute this statement. So we are getting b. Is this fine? Hello? Adya Didi, you are not audible.
Am I audible now?
Yeah.
I don't know what's happening to my mic today.
Oh,
Anyways, yeah, I was saying I've understood this.
okay. Great. So this is also known as a ternary operator conditional expressions. So these one-liner if statement, if else statements are known as ternary operators or conditional expressions. And then you can have multiple
Yeah.
if like multiple else statements also. So what is happening over here? It is saying if a greater than b, then print a. Alright, else
Yeah.
print equals, and print if a equals to b, then print equals, else print b. So this is multiple if else statements in one whole statement. So this is,
One sentence.
so
Yeah.
it's like if a is greater than b, then it will go over here, else it will go over here, or if a is equals to b. So basically it's like an elif, it's like an elif statement.
Yeah.
So for example, if it was 331 over here, then it is printing b. Why? Because This part is considered like an elif. So you can't directly have elif in
Mm-hmm.
one statement, but this is a technique through which you can create your own elif using else and if.
Yeah, understood.
Yeah. And then we have the and keyword in a normal if statement. So if a greater than b and c greater than a, then print both conditions are true. So basically if both the conditions are true, then only it executes the block of code. In or if any
Yeah,
one of the any one of the conditions is true, then it executes the block of the code. And basically not is basically the reverse of whatever expression we give. So if this part gives true to us, so the not will make it false, and if this part gives false to us, not will make it true. If a greater than b, that is false, but not will make it true. If is getting true, so it will print a is not greater than b.
yeah, okay.
Next we have nested if. So basically we can have if statements inside of if statements. For instance, we have x equals to 41, and then we are saying if x is greater than 10, so that is true. 41 is greater than 10, so it will say above 10. Then it will check if x greater than 20, that is also true. And then we are printing and also above 20. If we said that our number was 15, then it would say above 10 but not above 20.
But not above
Yeah.
20. Yeah, understood.
And then we have the past statement that we did earlier. So if we are not sure what to do in the if statement, then we can just pass. So
Yeah,
basically that would do nothing, and continue with the code. And now we are on the loops. So there are while loops and for loops that we are going to see. So basically,
okay.
the while loops is a loop where there is a condition, and the block of code executes until and unless that condition is not false. So when the condition is false,
Yeah,
it stops executing. So we have I equals to 1. We are checking if it is less than 6. It is true, so we are printing I, and we are saying I increment by 1, and then so on. And when I is 6, then it checks 6 less than 6, that is false, so it breaks out of the basically if statement, sorry, the while loop.
the loop.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So if we said less than equals to, then it will bring 1 2 3 4 5 6, because when I will be incremented in the end and it will be incremented to 6, then it will check 6 less than equals to 6, that brings true, so it will print I when its value was 6, and then it will be incremented to 7. Now 7 is not less than equals to 6, then it breaks out of the loop.
then it breaks. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
understood.
uh, so if we don't increment I, it's saying that the loop will continue forever. Now there is a break statement. If you want to break out of the loop in between, for example, when i's value
Yeah,
hits 3, we can break out, and this will terminate the loop then and there only. So we get 1
okay.
2 3, and when it's 3, it checks this, it goes inside of the if statement, it breaks out, so nothing else happens. Basically the loop is terminated there only.
Yeah,
And the
okay.
continue statement, it basically like skips that iteration. For example, when I equals to 3, it's the same code as the break statement one, but what we are saying continue. Now it's not the same actually, because we are incrementing I first and then we are printing I. So I is equals to 0, we are incrementing it first, it's now 1, we are printing it, so we get 1. Then I is 1, so it increments it to 2, it checks the statement and prints 2. Then when I is 2, it checks over here, it increments it to 3. When it increments it to 3, it
Yeah,
checks 3 equals to 3, and it continues there and then only. And this next line is not executed for 3, Basically, that whatever code is after continue in the while loop, that all of that code will be skipped. Inside the if statement also, if we are at print, this will continue, then this will continue, won't come, because whatever is there in the while loop after continue, that would be skipped for one iteration.
Okay, understood.
Yeah, so this was the continue keyword also. Next there is the else statement in the while loop also. So once basically this condition is false, it goes into the else block and executes the else block. The same could be achieved
Yeah,
without
just
the,
like if
yeah,
else. I'm saying basically just like if else only.
yeah, it's just like if else only. But अगर हमारे पास for example if we didn't have the else block also, then also it would have done the same thing over here. If we would have just printed
Yeah,
outside of the while loop, then also.
understood.
Yeah, so this is the exercise. These exercises are very easy, so we can move on to the for loop. So the for loop is used majorly for iterating over sequences. So for example, we have a list, we can say for x in fruits. So it will first print apple, then banana, then cherry. So basically the for loop
Yeah,
is used to iterate over collection data types. You can also loop through a string. So for x in banana, so for first x will basically be every character of the string. So first x will be b, then a, then n, then a, then n, then a. So each letter will be printed individually in a separate line.
yeah, understood.
Then there is the break statement in the for loop also. So in a certain case we can break. So for example, whenever we find the value banana in the fruits list, then we are breaking. So first we get apple, we are
Great.
printing apple, and then we get banana. When we are printing banana first, then we are checking if x is banana, so then break. So this will show apple banana, but it will break before showing
Great.
cherry.
Yeah, understood.
Yeah. And next we basically, this is just another code example, that if we don't want to print banana, we first check the condition. If x equals to banana, then break. So first it is apple, so it will check, and that's false, so it will print apple. But then when it's banana, it will check first before printing, and because it is banana, then it will break and it won't go to the print statement, so we'll only get apple.
Okay, understood.
Next, there is the continue. It works the same like in a while loop. So it goes back, it like skips the iteration, that specific iteration, wherever it finds continue. So if we give anything after it, then that won't be executed. So we are checking
Yeah,
apple, and apple will be printed. Then banana, when it sees banana, it will continue, and these two lines won't be executed. And then it will be cherry, so cherry will be printed.
yeah,
Yeah. Next, there is the range function. So we can loop over a range also. So a specific range. So for x in range 6, this returns a range collection type of containing the values 0 till 5. 6 would not be included, and then we are printing 6. So we are getting printing x. So we are getting 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then by default, if we don't give a start item, then it takes the start item, start index.
from zero.
Yeah, so if we give a start item, so that would be included in the range collection type. So we get 2, 3, 4, 5, because 6 is excluded.
Excluded.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then there is also a third value, that is step. So basically, till now we are getting 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 2, 3, 4, 5. But now what this step does
yeah,
is that this will increment the value by 3. So the first value will be 2, then the second value will be 5, then it would be 8, then 11, then 14, and so on.
Wait, so the value in the middle is the step value.
The value in the last value is the step value.
Okay. The middle is the stop value.
Yeah, the first value is the start value, middle is the stop value, and third value is the step value.
Step value. Okay, understood.
Yeah. So by default, steps value is 1. So we can also give, I believe, a decimal point also over here, 0.5 for instance. Okay, so it's not taking a decimal point. My bad. Next, there is also an else statement in for loops. For x in range 6, print x, and when the for loop ends, it goes into the else statement and prints like finally finished.
Finally finished. Yeah.
The one thing to note is that I forgot to mention is the else block will not be executed if the loop is stopped by a break statement. So that's very important. In while loops also, the difference was basically that the else block would only and only be executed if the loop ends automatically and not by the break statement.
Okay, understood.
Yeah, so for example, we are breaking over here, so finally finished won't be printed.
Yeah, yeah, understood.
Next, we have nested loops. So loop inside of a loop. So we are saying for x in ADG. So that's like this is an adjectives array, and then for y in fruits. So that's a fruits array. Fruits list. Sorry, I'm saying arrays. It's actually lists. So that's a fruits list. So we are saying print x comma y. So we are getting first red, and in y we are getting first apple. So it will show red apple, then it will show big banana, and then it will show tasty cherry. No,
Yeah,
no, no, no,
okay,
no. It
understood.
no, 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 no. Sorry, sorry. It will show red apple, red banana, red cherry, big apple, big banana, big cherry, and tasty apple, tasty banana, tasty cherry. Why? Because it first x value will be red, and then for every x value we are running this new loop for y in
Okay.
fruits. So x value will be red and y's value will first be apple, then banana, then cherry. Then x
First the
value will
apple,
be
banana,
big.
cherry. Yeah.
Yeah, the x value will be big, then it will be apple, banana, cherry. Then it will be tasty, and then it will be apple, banana, cherry.
Apple, banana, cherry. Yeah,
So,
yeah, understood.
yeah, so sorry I misinterpreted it at that time.
No,
And
no, it's okay.
yeah, and next there is the pass statement in for loops also. So if you don't want to execute anything, then you can pass.
Give pass. Yeah,
So if you have an empty loop without the pass statement, then it will raise an error.
yeah, understood.
Next we have Python functions. Just one thing I just want to note over here, when when we
Yeah,
want an empty loop, if we leave a multi-line comment, for example, hi. So for like what I think is that it should not give an error.
okay.
Yeah, because it is actually not a comment. It is yeah, so it's not giving us an error now. Why? Because it's not actually a
Because
comment.
it's treating it like a string.
Yeah, it's just a multi-line string that is ignored by the Python interpreter. So
Yeah, understood.
yeah, so that's why when we give a multi-line string, it does not raise an error because it finds a
But
block.
just in case if we would have given like a hashtag comment, then
Yeah,
it would have given an error
yeah,
last
so
time.
last time when I like tried that, it gave us an error because hashtag is actually taken as a comment, but this is just
Yeah,
something found out by developers. It is not officially said by Python that these are official comments. These are just
yeah,
multi-line
yeah.
strings.
Yes, understood.
Yeah. So now we are on Python functions. So it is a block of code that we can execute repeatedly when we like call it by the name. So we created by using the def keyword for define, and then we give the function name. Then we give the parenthesis to accept arguments, and then inside we
Yeah.
have our block of code. We call a function through its name and parenthesis. So basically the information which can be passed into function are known as arguments. So over here, the basically what we say, this is just some like naming convention. So whatever parameters we give over here, like L name and all, so these are known as parameters, the values that we are accepting, but the values that we give are known as
Okay.
arguments.
So in this case, all the values like that we have given to my function while calling it
Yeah,
are the arguments,
yeah,
and f name is the parameter.
yeah, it is the parameter.
Okay, understood.
Yeah. So it's saying parameters or arguments. So it is also explaining that a parameter is the variable. So this is the variable that is listed over here in the parameters area in the parenthesis, and the arguments are the values that we provide the function.
Yeah, that we give while calling the
Yeah.
function.
Yeah. So essentially what is happening is
Okay.
when we are passing in ML, it is like creating an f name variable, and its value it is setting
Is
to
equals to ml.
yeah, so it's in every loop. First it is saying ML, then Tobias, then Linus. So that's what's happening
Yeah,
inside.
basically it's assigning the values that we give to the variables
Yeah,
that we had said before.
yeah,
Understood.
yeah. So like the number of arguments that you can give is the number of parameters that you specify inside the function definition. So for example, we are saying f name, L name, so you are expected to pass two arguments to it, not less.
Okay.
Yeah, and if we pass more arguments, then also it leads to an error that it's
Okay,
taking
so
in.
if we pass less or more, then in both cases it will give us an error.
Yeah.
Okay, understood.
And then there is arbitrary arguments. For example, we don't know how the number of arguments that the function is like going to accept. So what we can say star kids over here. So star kids or star, for example, like any name. So what this will do, this will create a list of all the values that we pass. For example, we are passing in
Okay,
ML, Tobias, and Linus. So what this is doing, it is saying args is equals to ML, Tobias, and Linus. So this is this is the value of args. And when we
okay,
say
understood.
args2, so it will show Linus.
Yeah, understood.
And
So
then
basically,
yeah,
when we put this star in front of the parameter, so we can extend the value, like we can give as many values to it.
yeah, we can give as many values as we want to, and this is majorly used when we are unsure about how many values the function is going to get.
Yeah, understood.
Yeah, so if we say for example, first child over here, comma, and star kids, then ML would be put in first child, and Tobias and Linus would be put in the list of
Put in
kids.
star kids.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And when we are referring to kids, like inside the function, we won't put star. We will normally refer to it like a variable. We do to a variable.
variable.
Yeah. So if we have to do kids one over here. If we say kids two, like we were doing previously, then this will bring an error because the length of the
Because
of the list that is being created is only two items. So it
Yeah, so 0 and 1.
yeah. Next,
Understood.
next there is keyword arguments. So basically we have child 3, child 2, child 1 for example, and if we want to like pass in any, we don't know the particular order but we know the like the parameter names, so we can say child 1 equals to Emil, child 2 equals to Tobias, and child 3 equals to Linus. So even though the order was child 3, child 2, child 1, we are saying child 1, child 2, child 3 equals, and basically then the value of each parameter is being set respectively.
Yeah, okay. Understood.
Yeah, so this is basically used when we are working with APIs. So in APIs, we don't know what is the order of the like the parameters that the function is like accepting. So we like basically can give in any order through keyword arguments. Like, are you aware with the concept of
What is API?
yeah, so API is basically like some service that you use from like other companies create some services for you, and that their code or their functions you can use like inside of your code. So their functionality you can use.
Okay,
So it's like importing
okay,
libraries, but it's like different from importing libraries because the libraries bring the functions inside your code, whereas in APIs
yeah,
you directly like give it a request for some data and it gives you a response. So
okay, okay.
like
Understood.
we are when we are doing in advance, then we will be familiar with the concept of APIs also. We'll be doing APIs.
Okay,
So next there is keyword arguments. So for example, when we say star star kids, or over here it has said kid, then what we have to do, we'll have to give like the first the name and then the value. So a key value pair will be created and kid will be a dictionary.
yeah, okay,
So it's very similar to the like normal arbitrary arguments. And then there is
yeah,
also like the concept of default parameters. So basically when no value of a parameter is put, for example we are accepting a parameter but we put no value, so your function terminates and basically a program terminates and throws an error. So default value is used to like take a value if no value is given to the function parameter. So like over here when we are calling my function, no value is being given, so it is taking the default value Norway. In all the other three cases the value is being given, so that value is being taken, that we are giving. But when no value is
yeah.
taken given, then we are taking Norway.
Norway, yeah, as default.
Yeah.
Understood.
And we can also pass a list as an argument. So basically if you say like fruit, when you pass fruits, and for x in food print x, and like we have apple, banana, cherry, so this will loop in this function. We are basically looping on the list and printing each item of the list. So sorry,
As an argument to the variable food.
I didn't get my like microphone was changed, sorry, can you repeat?
Yeah, I'm saying so basically, like we are given this whole list, fruits list, as an argument to the variable food.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there is some interesting case with lists also that we are going to cover in the next class, because right now the time is about to finish.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye bye.